And when Moses was about 80 years old, he was taking care of his father-in-law's sheep. And he saw what looked to him was a burning bush, but it wasn't burning up.
Penny is going to away about what trader, two put the panel, two put a quaware petula at the cosi, quanivera, a meepa at two the power. And in it, away let you wear talola the color me. Tashuta mem a tamu the two knees and a male or water, male in the park of law, away let you wear talola.
But he recognized that this was God, and so he took off his sandals and he wanted to know who this person was. And God said, I am. And it was so different from the Egyptians, who had a god for the Nile, they had a god for frogs, they had a god for crocodiles, they had a god for everything, and they all had names, but this God identified himself, I am who I am.
Hole kasa me tiklo kasa kasa di me eklu bona basa akhe kasa we me oda ami aza phati ba basa akhe kasa tagala we thi we da ni me we da kasa la ami ton.
And God told Abraham Moses that he was supposed to go to Pharaoh and ask Pharaoh to let all of his people go to worship in the desert.
Wada awe ni lela sapa Pharaoh da le te we da no the ka play lo we da khu te ta pha Israel khu te ta pha do ke he ki do ka bu thu ba la ki la ka sa la ami ton.
And you know the story where Pharaoh each time said no, you cannot go, and then Moses went back and he asked again 9 times. The 10th time God says, I will bring a plague that they will not forget. They will let you go.
Da samushin yo ado la away apwa lu di pha pu ple la ta summa ke khu ku ta away le la so pa Pharaoh da away le ke ke nya we ni do ka ple lo ni we da kwa Israel la pu di pha ba satana ke ni so pa Pharaoh ni akho ko da de ple lo ba da so samushin le te we da so pa Pharaoh khi blo ma no da tu la la blo da si ni ka sa yo te we da so pa Pharaoh mi mu de ple lo Israel la ni and
the 10th plague would be that the oldest person in the family, also the animal and so on, would be killed by the angel of the Lord. And now we come to the first Passover ever, and I'd like to read, someone read from Exodus 12, verses 3, 4, and 5. Exodus 12, verses 3, 4, and 5.
He was here for the key, so 30 year. Takatuta do pa Israel po atau po kela do si lai tho si se ni ni pa ba hine le so do metele akla apola go taga po to do dia pa hi so no put do la hi go lo no wa hi pu me sga ke so la ta apo do lo mo awena no pale o bu do a hi ni di pa kanyo afa so ni de ge pe ba wi ba di a o le o ta a so ni la ta apo Go gane lo. Tita put the ba me asale lepwe pa ani tani apolo le sulpa klami we le me tele pa klami we they were hini all.
Thank you. So, God is telling his children how not to be affected by that last plague, where the eldest son in the family will not be killed. He's telling them how to avoid that. Yeah, and he's saying to the children of Israel, God is saying this to Moses. Moses, you tell your people that on the 10th day of this month, which is called Abib, today it's called Nisan, but on the 10th day, you are to select a lamb that is perfect. And if you can't afford a lamb, a goat's okay. Okay, that is about 1,500 years before Christ, the very first Passover. Okay, and now let's skip to the New Testament, because the Bible is one book. The Old Testament and New Testament, one story, but two big chapters. Okay? And then let's skip over to the New Testament, and let's take a look at Matthew 21, verses 1 to 11. It's a little long, but it's a good story. Matthew 21, verse 1 to 11. And today we call this story Palm Sunday. It's when Jesus came into Jerusalem to celebrate Passover. Could someone read that? Could someone read that?